Hello again adventurers, welcome to another exciting video from Costa Rica. Today we're going for a 2-day guided tour to Corcovado National Park. Today we're gonna hike around Sirena and San Pedrillo ranger stations. Let's get into the vlog. After about an hour of boat ride, which wasn't too bad, we arrived at this beach. We put our hiking shoes on and we're gonna start hiking towards the Sirena ranger station. There's also another hike from here to La Leona ranger station, which is 16 kilometers away. So during the first few hundred meters of walking, we didn't see many special animals, only some insects and birds. There was actually so many people walking on the trail that it was really hard to see any animals. At one point we got to a group of about 20 people and they were looking up on the tree at one sloth. But our guy didn't even stop, he thought we're gonna see some sloth again. A few minutes later we stopped at another group of about 20 more people and they're all looking at tapir. At that point I was very excited because I really wanted to see this animal even through binoculars. But our stupid guy said that we should just keep going and that we're gonna see it on the way back. Of course he was gone when we were returning, and as a guide he should know that the animals are gonna move. We were not mad as we thought we're gonna see it at the next ranger station. After about an hour of walking we got to the Sirena ranger station for a little break, and here is a sign of recommendations of what to do if you meet a predator like a puma, or there are even few jaguars, so it'd be amazing to see one. Alright, the next part of the trip we're gonna walk on this hiking path around Sirena ranger station. We're walking in a group with 4 other people plus our guide. Even though we thought this is a private tour, hopefully we're gonna see some more interesting animals this time. I'm not an expert on observing animals, but I think if you walk in a group of more people and other people are talking, it's very little chance you're gonna see something. So here we finally spotted some howler monkey, which we saw so many just a few days ago, just by the main road near the houses. So here our guide Andre is explaining about this big tree, which is actually a relative to the cashew nut tree. So here we're going inside this attraction, which is this big hollow tree.
So this tree is pretty much dying right now from the inside, but it's gonna take a long time until it decomposes and dies. Now when this tree dies and falls, possibly it's gonna fall down and kill other trees. Now you can tell that you have been in the same place where Alice went into Wonderland.
Yeah.
Alright, over here we got to this place by the little river where our guide thought we're gonna see a caiman, and actually one of the guys from the group saw it first. So seeing this caiman, which is like a little alligator, was definitely a highlight of our trip when it comes to seeing animals.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Alright, and over here we spotted this interesting looking bird, and this was probably the second most interesting animal we saw here on this trip. We could see it much better through the binoculars.
Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it
Alright, and over here we see the famous leafcutter ants that you can see pretty much all over Costa Rica. It's not something special for Costa Rica. It's like seeing a monkey, but when you come, for example, from Europe, it's very special. Here we see another bigger bird by the river that actually Sanya spotted. The guy didn't see it at all. I think at this point he was not even looking for the animals. I think he just routinely has the places in his mind, like the Cayman place, and he just looking for them there. But if there is something random on the trail, he would not see it.
It doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all.
Over here we see some really interesting thing. We see the markings on this tree, which is from Barbara fence that was here about 50 years ago, which was surrounding the pastures for cow grazing.
So hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to.
Just before we got back to the beach, we saw coati. It's also quite common animal to see in Costa Rica, even near the houses. Visited the Corcovado National Park mainly to see the tapir, which we were told there is a big chance to see. As I said before, that big group of people that we met before even saw it, but our stupid guide said we're gonna see it later, which we didn't. And I asked him if we're gonna see it at the next location, San Pedrillo, and he said possibly, which was a lie. Alright, so we got to San Pedrillo ranger station and they didn't give us much information what's gonna be next. We just started walking on the hiking path. We're actually hiking with the other group that was with us on the boat, so now I was actually 12 people including the guides. So at this point, going in such a big group, I was even more skeptical that we're gonna see any animals at all. After about 20 minutes of hiking, we got to this little waterfall where we had lunch and we're also swimming here. After we were swimming and had lunch, we started walking up the stream until we reached the second waterfall, which was much higher, but we didn't spend any time here. I barely had time to take pictures because our guides were just hurrying up. Without the permission of the guide, some of the people from the group just decided to check the top of the waterfall, which was amazing. So here our guys started talking about this random tree, but till now we haven't seen any animals. So I think the promise that we're gonna see tapir again that we didn't see because of him is a bullshit. So right now we should be passing through the primary rainforest, and we're reading it should be so thick you can't even see sky, but I can see sky really clearly. As I was imagining that the trees here are really thick and tall and old, but it's not the case, they're just the same as any other place. Alright, and we finally spotted some animal, this bigger bird, and I think you would see even more animals, but in such a big group of 12 people, it's almost impossible.
Dance, make them dance, boy.
Here we again spotted the howler monkey, but this time our guides were not even with us. Interesting how they can hang all their body just by the tail. Right after about an hour of hiking from the San Pedrillo ranger station, we got out on this road, and in a minute we got even to some houses. So I think it's some accommodation, and this should be like the middle of the national park. So you see, it's not much wilderness here. So I think now from this point we definitely not gonna see a tapir again. And over here we started to walk on this bigger dirt road for cars for another 1 hour. Our guide Andre didn't even wait for us. There was just the other guy that was with the other group. And again, we didn't see any animals and definitely didn't feel like a primary rainforest here. So I think we got scammed a little bit here. And after about an hour on the dirt road, we got out onto some fields surrounded with the barbed wire fences. There's even a motorbike here. So this hike from San Pedrillo station was kind of a joke. So at this point half of the group went first because they're faster, but we were still looking for animals to see, but we couldn't see anything. And it was already getting dark, but we still had a few kilometers till the accommodation. And after we got to the accommodation, which was bunk beds, but at least we had a private room, we went for a night tour where we saw some interesting frogs and spiders. So here we're observing this bigger frog, which was pretty cool experience. Alright vegan adventurers, I hope you enjoy watching our first day of hiking in the Corcovado National Park. Even though that we were very disappointed that we didn't see a tapir that we could have actually seen if it was not for our stupid guide. And the primary rainforest was not as special as I expected. It was still great to get out there, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna experience something more. So stay tuned for that video, and as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.